If there's money on the board, you know that we're on it. Welcome into Madden on the Line for Saturday, May 23rd. It's time for your playoff board check. The show is presented by Crosscheck Media on the Biz Talk Today TV network. When we look at last night's action out there on the hardwood, the Oklahoma City Thunder did take a 2-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals, 123-108 win over the San Antonio Spurs. We then saw the Vegas Golden Knights take a win in game number 2 versus the Colorado Avalanche. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights now have won the first 2 games of this series in the Western Conference Finals out there on the ice, and that's putting the Colorado Avalanche in a sticky situation. Road teams that have gone 2-0 in the first 2 games of a series in the Stanley Cup playoffs are 20-1 in NHL history to take the series. Can Colorado bounce back in game number 3 on Sunday as that one does head to Vegas, or will we see Vegas make it even harder for Colorado to come back, taking the 3-0 lead? Looking at the books right now, they do have Colorado as a favorite at -140 on the road. We know they were a $2 favorite Friday night. Looking at the action today, and this is what it's all about, you guys, because you know there's definitely money on the board. Turning to the ice today in the Eastern Conference, the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes are set to play game number 2. The puck will drop at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Carolina Hurricanes over a $2 favorite. Disrespectful line here for a Montreal Canadiens team that was able to get the win in game number 1. Lots of people thinking it was just rust in game number 1 out there for the Carolina Hurricanes, but I also think this is an Eastern Conference Final Series issue for the Carolina Hurricanes. After taking the loss in game number 1, the Canes are now, since 2006, when they were able to hoist the Stanley Cup, they're now 1-17 in Eastern Conference Final games. They've struggled in the series, and I think they continue to struggle again in those 18 games, having a goal differential of -32. The Montreal Canadiens are also a team that really have had Carolina's number, not only winning game 1 6-2, but taking all 3 regular season games. Look for Yakudovich to come out strong again. And you guys know we're rolling back some of those bets. Looking at the Montreal Canadiens, we took them first period and full game last matchup, and I've come right back in on it. Looking at the first period, you're getting Montreal at +134, and then money line at +172. Now, neither team was able to convert on the power play in the last game, both going 0 of 2. Physicality wise, Carolina definitely the more physical with 44 hits versus 18 only for the Montreal Canadiens. And then the shots on goal, 28 shots on goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and 22 for the Montreal Canadiens, not allowing us to cash Yakudovich over the 28.5 save shots on goal. And I don't know about you guys, but if you're rolling with that, you're asking Lane Hudson nicely and politely to get out of the way and let Yakudovich stop that, because Carolina was trying to get it and Lane Hudson was getting those blocks. He's been absolutely phenomenal in the playoffs, 14 playoff points thus far. When we look at Frederik Andersen, though, for the Carolina Hurricanes, I don't trust him to limit the Montreal Canadiens, and I do think the defense will step up in front of him again. We cashed in game number 1, him under 20.5 save shots on goal. He stopped only 16 of 21 shots, nicely going under this number with additional defensive effort out of the Carolina Hurricanes to really give the protection. I'll roll again with Frederik Andersen under the 20.5 save shots on goal. I won't be shocked if Montreal comes out and hits him for him to be pulled in this matchup. Yakudovich, I will take over the 27.5, as I do think increased volatility of shots will come in here for the Carolina Hurricanes, who were able to get a goal in the first 33 seconds with Seth Jarvis scoring that goal. Taylor Hall is leading this team with assists, with 9 assists and 12 points. Stankoven, he feels like he's just a second away from getting hot. I've got him for the anytime goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Rod Bridgemore is going to have this team ready and eager to get a win, but I don't think even if they win it, they go over 3.5 goals. The under 3.5 goals for the Carolina Hurricanes coming in at -116. I will then look at the Montreal Canadiens team total over 2.5 goals at -102, expecting Montreal to win this in a 3-2 style game. But you guys, that is what I'm liking on the ice. When we turn to the hardwood, the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, this one will start at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're seeing the Knicks leading the series 2-0. They're looking to take that commanding 3-0 lead. Now they're rolling in as the underdog at plus 112, and that's exactly where I have to hit them. You know, in the first two games at home in Madison Square Garden, we didn't only take the Knicks, but we fired up their spread laying double digits. And I do think they have every ability to come in here to Cleveland and get the win. Now, I'm not going to fire them up in this one, and I caution you of doing so, but as high as I would go, if I was willing to, would be laying at 4.5. Maybe I'll get to the window by game time, but at this point, I'd rather not be greedy and just have the plus 112 in my pocket on the money line. If the New York Knicks are going to get the win, I think we have another solid performance out of Josh Hart and Brunson. Brunson only 19 points in the last game, but he did put up 14 assists. That was a career high, you guys. Now, Karl Anthony Towns, we know he's going to be able to get those rebounds on the board. 13 rebounds in the last game, 18 points. You can't bet his double-double. The books will make you pay through the nose at minus 210, but I do think Karl Anthony Towns, could he get the assists? You guys, you're looking at 45-1 for Karl Anthony Towns for the assists. It's a long shot. It's a lottery bet, but it's just maybe possible. Then on the other side for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I do think James Harden will be hitting those threes, over 2.5 made threes at plus 116. James Harden is hard to trust in the playoffs, but in game one, he went 1 of 8 from deep. Game 2, he went 3 of 7. You know he's going to be firing here at home, a place where the Cleveland Cavaliers pick up offensively. And James Harden, he really wants to get to the finals. He's going to bring everything he can. I just think the Cavs at the end of the day are going to be too much for him. We're seeing a Cavs team that really is putting that pressure, defending against Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, leaving Josh Hart open. Josh Hart coming off one of his best games I've ever seen him play. And in the second half, he was dropping those threes. He was playing so solid after a rough start out there, let's be honest. 26 points overall, 4 rebounds and 7 assists and 5 made threes in that game. Josh Hart has the opportunity to go off if we see the Cavs defense focusing on Brunson and Towns again. But if they do that, Josh Hart might just win the Knicks' game. So Cavs defensively are going to have to play it. They're going to have to make sure they don't turn that ball over. Now, I do think their big man, Evan Mobley, is worth a look. Over 8.5 rebounds, coming in at plus 102. And I know he was held to 6 rebounds in the last game, but he did have 14 in game number 1. Him and Karl Anthony Towns are going to be battling it out to see who can have the stronger night on the glass. My money would be on Karl Anthony Towns versus Evan Mobley, but I still think they both can get double digits. You guys, that is a Madden on the line, your board check for Saturday, May 23rd, produced by Crosscheck Media on the Biz Talk Today TV network. I'm Joe Madden. If there's money on the board, you absolutely know that I'm on.